If you look at my channel right now, you will notice something immediately. I don't have many subscribers. I've already uploaded more than 10 videos, and at the moment I have around 10 subscribers, even less as far as I could see. And strangely enough, I'm completely fine with that. In fact, if this had happened to me years ago, when I was making my first attempts at YouTube, oh, I probably would have been extremely disappointed. Um, I would have looked at those numbers and thought, well, seriously, that's it. Mm, because I wrote scripts, recorded videos, edited them, edited music, made thumbnails, of course, uploaded everything to this video hosting, and this is what I get. Back then, you know, even after 3 or 4 videos, I could already start wondering why nobody wanted to support me. I was trying so hard, working so hard. So, where were my subscribers? It felt totally unfair. But today, I looked at my less than 10 subscribers after more than 10 videos, and for some reason, I don't feel disappointed at all. And recently, I finally understood why. I'm going to share with you such a secret, which basically is floating on the surface. However, before I proceed with this, I kindly ask you to follow my channel. Let's stay connected. I'm going to share with you um, too much very interesting content in the future. And here we go. Now I will proceed with an explanation. But before doing this, I need to rewind our time a little bit. So I need to go back more than 20 years to a completely different internet. As far as you know, I was born and grew up in Russia, Moscow. And I think I first started using the internet regularly sometime around 2002, 2002 year. Maybe a little earlier, maybe a bit later. I don't remember exactly, unfortunately. But what I do remember very well is what the internet felt like back then. It was slow, really slow. We used dial up modems, and connecting to the internet was almost an event by itself. You would hear all those strange noises coming from the modem, wait for the connection, and then finally you were online. And once you got there, websites didn't instantly appear on your screen. Sometimes you actually had to sit there and watch a page slowly load piece by piece. So a large image could take forever. Downloading music required patience. As far as I remember, one music track which had an amount around 5 megabytes could take maybe half an hour to be downloaded on my hard disk drive. So, downloading a video or a game could become an entire project. But I absolutely loved it. I could spend hours surfing from one site to another one. I was enjoying downloading pictures, music, programs, games, sometimes even videos. And search engines were still relatively new to us. Of course, we had Yandex, Rambler, Apport, as far as I remember. Is it still alive, by the way? I have no clue. And other services, and the internet felt much smaller and much more mysterious than it does today. You could discover some strange personal website created by one person somewhere, bookmark it, and keep returning to it for months. And after spending so much time online, I unconsciously developed my own little system for deciding whether a website was good. I didn't call it a system at the time, of course. I was just a teenager browsing the internet. But looking back, I realized that I judged almost every website according to three simple criteria. And here we are. The first criterion was by far the most important. It was mandatory, by the way. Does this website have something I actually want? Maybe I was looking for a particular song, maybe pictures, maybe some information in the text representation, maybe a program or a game. Whatever it was, the website needed to give me a reason to be there. If it didn't have anything interesting or useful for me, nothing else really mattered. The second criterion was whether the website actually worked well. Did it load it reasonably quickly? Were the links working? Could I find what I was looking for without fighting with the system? Remember, internet connections were slow and unstable for us, especially, so this mattered a lot. A website could have something valuable, but if every page took forever to load or half the links were broken, eventually you would lose your patience. And then there was a third criterion: design. Did the website look good? Was it pleasant to use? Did somebody clearly put some thought into how it looked? I appreciated beautiful websites even then, but this was definitely the least important of these three. If a website looked terrible but had exactly the file I desperately wanted, believe me, I wasn't going anywhere. I would happily tolerate ugly buttons, strange colors, and terrible fonts. On the other hand, the most beautiful website in the world was useless to me if there was nothing there I wanted. And there was another funny thing about websites in those days. If you remember the old internet, you probably remember visitor counters. Website owners loved them. Somewhere at the bottom of the page, there would be a little box showing a number like 1284 visitors. I wanted to say subscribers, but in those time we hadn't any subscribers, we had only visitors as far as we remember. Yeah, maybe 100,000 visitors. Sometimes the counter itself looked ridiculous with little mechanical looking digits or some colorful design that absolutely didn't match anything else on the page. Well, those counters were basically the subscriber counts of early internet. They were a way of saying, look, some people come here. And early versions were even particularly sophisticated. Some counters essentially counted page loads, so refreshing a page could sometimes make the number go up again. Today, of course, analytics are on another level entirely. For example, YouTube can tell a creator how many people saw a thumbnail, how many clicked on it, and how long they watched, whether they stopped watching your video, whether they came back, whether they subscribed, and even much more. And the conclusion is that recently, as I told you before, I realized something funny. The technology has changed enormously, but the person sitting in the front of the screen really hasn't. And that thought suddenly brought me back to my own YouTube channel. This is very important. I started asking myself a question that sounds incredibly obvious, but for some reason I hadn't been asking it enough. Why do I subscribe to somebody else's channel? Think about it. How often do you watch a perfectly good YouTube video and never subscribe to the person who made it? I do it all the time. Maybe I searched for a solution to a technical problem. I found a video where the creator explained everything perfectly. I solved my problem, closed YouTube, and never saw this person again. That wasn't a bad video, of course, at all. Uh, quite the opposite. It gave me exactly what I needed. But it didn't give me a reason to come back. And that's when I realized that watching a video and subscribing to a channel are actually two very different decisions. When I click on a video, I'm basically saying this looks interesting enough to give you a few minutes of my time. When I subscribe, I'm saying something much bigger. Maybe the creator talks about subjects that fascinate me. Maybe I like the way they think. Maybe there is a story developing and I want to know what happens next. Maybe they're building a business, learning a skill, traveling somewhere, or trying to achieve something. And now I'm emotionally invested in the journey. Sometimes I don't even care what the next video about because I just simply enjoy listening to that person and I like their perspective. I want to see the world through their eyes again. It's almost the same mechanism like watching the TV series on the Netflix, maybe. And as I said before, uh, now I know the answer. Why nobody subscribers? Ask yourself first whether this channel contains something useful I wanted to find, whether I want to watch this again and again. Like, is it interesting for me too much to glue my attention to follow this author? I want another story, another idea, another useful piece of information, just to go with another episode. And suddenly I looked at my own 10 subscribers completely differently. Why should I have 50 subscribers? Why should I have 100? Why should I have 1,000? Because I've made 10 videos. There is a little bit like building 10 HTML pages in 2002 and then getting angry because nobody visits your website. Yeah, you remember my analogy. But I made 10 pages. Where are my visitors? Well, what's on those pages? Ask yourself. Why should anybody come back? Is it still anything useful on your website? Well, it's possible to download an interesting content from it, right? I think this is where creators, including myself, can easily become trapped by our own perspective. We see the work behind the video, the viewer doesn't. We remember writing the script and how we recorded the same sentence 5 or even 10 times. Also, there is an editing at midnight, fixing the audio, choosing music, making a thumbnail, and uploading the whole file. By the way, I recorded this video before, but sound was so terrible, so I decided to record this again. Maybe that's the biggest thing those old website counters can teach us today. We've been looking at the numbers of the screen for decades. The numbers have become more accurate. The analytics have become incredibly sophisticated, and the platforms have completely changed. But behind every number is still a person. And before wondering why that person hasn't become another number on our counter, maybe we should ask the simple question of it all: why should they? So, that's all I wanted to tell you today. Thank you so much for watching. I kindly ask you to follow me. Please follow my channel. Please subscribe. Let's stay connected and see you in my next video. Bye bye.